At their head, Captain John White mentally rehearses the initial stages of the patrol, those key first few moments as his commandos deploy from the relative sanctuary of the base and into the unpredictable and deadly hinterland that surrounds them on all sides. Patrol Base Mahbub is the southernmost location of a series of operational centres for the tour, surrounded by buildings, some derelict and some occupied, with green fields to the west leading to the Helmand River, and in the distance to the west the sands of the desert. In many ways, the terrain around them summarises the tactical situation, confused, claustrophobic, varied, and offering a series of lurks and firing points for the enemy. The air is cool and clear, a blessed contrast to the stifling heat of the day ahead, and any sounds cut through the night like crystal. At present there is only the noise of shuffling feet in the red dust and the low murmur of the final exchanges between men before their deployment into the darkness beyond the camp, leaving the safety of the place that is their haven and their home. There are different types of courage. There is the frenzied reaction in a kinetic moment of heat and dust, a charge into the teeth of the enemy as adrenaline and aggression combine. These are the moments heralded by the press, celebrated at the palace, and marked with smiling images of ceremonial uniforms and silk-lined medal cases. But there is another type of bravery, and many would say an altogether more impressive and pervasive one on operations in the benighted provinces of Afghanistan. And that is the one that requires men to consciously place themselves into danger again and again and again. Persistent exposure to such an environment eats away at the fabric of intent, creating an insidious erosion of will. It accumulates over time and is the result of knowing that the moment you cross the line into an uncertain world, you play a deadly game of poker with a deck that is stacked against you. Technology and training play their part, but there is a single expression that neatly summarises anti-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations in this part of the world at this stage of the war. In this beautiful land, where so much of the infrastructure is rudimentary and conflict defines latter-day culture, it was a thought from a high-tech Western warrior whilst on operations in Helmand province. We have the watches, but they have the time. Out in the darkness, an enemy patiently waits, skills honed over decades of war, lacing the landscape with deadly munitions, with tripwires and tilt switches. In the previous fortnight, 2 Marines have been killed on patrol, having deployed from neighbouring bases. The incidents had taken place only 400 metres away from where John White and his men now stand. Still in his 20s, White nonetheless has 8 years of accumulated experience. He is also a mountain leader, traditionally the reconnaissance force of the Commandos. He is a superb soldier, meticulous, hard as teak, and supremely focused on the task ahead. Such qualities mean he commands the respect and the loyalty of every man who stands with him at the gate. He checks his watch and acknowledges the Royal Marine, who stands ready to pull back the barrier, a creaking collection of metal spars and corrugated iron installed after their first few days at the base, chiefly as a means of keeping prying eyes away from their preparations and day-to-day routine. It is no physical protection whatsoever, balanced as it is on a rusted wheel, but allows some level of security from observation, and a line between safety and danger. To cross it requires discipline from every man, on every patrol, on every day of their 6-month tour. John nods again to the man who stands ready at the gate, and he eases the lock to one side. A clear, metallic rasp that is a Pavlovian signal to the patrol group that the waiting is over and the work of the day is about to begin. John cocks his weapon, the clatter of the rounds sliding into the breech, a declaration of intent, and steps forward to the entrance. Glancing around him one final time, he holds his weapon close, gripping the handle and the stock lightly with gloved hands, and shifts his feet on the ground. It is the 16th of June, 2010, and John White takes one last deep breath, lifts his head, and sprints out into the darkness of Sangin district and onto the patrol that will change his life forever.